the Unrivaled League is in complete disarray once again. And this time, it's Dijonai Carrington at the center of controversy. During a heated matchup, Carrington delivered a shocking slap to Kate Martin's face mid-game, an act so outrageous it left fans and players utterly stunned. Unable to reach Caitlin Clark, Carrington turned her aggression toward Kate, a move that instantly ignited discussions about sportsmanship and fair play. Carrington, who is no stranger to headlines for her aggressive playing style, has once again fueled the fire of her reputation. Known for towing the line or outright crossing it, she set her sights on Kate Martin, making the Iowa stand out her latest target. This wasn't just a hard foul. It was a blatant act of aggression that had spectators questioning her motives. And it didn't stop there. Carrington was all over Kate during the entire game. But what did Kate really do to destroy Carrington afterwards? Stick around to hear more. Are you ready? Let's go. As Martin maneuvered past Carrington on the court, what should have been a routine defensive play turned into chaos. Instead of making an honest attempt at the ball, Carrington swung her arm with force, connecting in a way that sent Martin crashing to the ground. The impact was brutal, leaving Martin visibly shaken and clutching her side as officials immediately blew the whistle and rushed to her aid. The crowd, already charged with tension, erupted in disbelief as replays confirmed what many feared. The foul wasn't incidental. It was deliberate. Slow-motion footage left no room for doubt. Carrington's arm swing looked calculated, adding fuel to long-standing accusations about her dangerous playing style. Martin, a player widely respected for her composure and toughness, lay sprawled on the court, stunned by the intensity of the foul. Teammates and medical staff rushed to her side as the audience held their breath. Although Martin managed to continue playing after a brief assessment, the physical and emotional toll of the moment was undeniable. It did not stop one Dijonai Carrington. Of course, she's the person that multiple times had, egregious altercations with Caitlin Clark last year, including the eye poke, the eye gouge, the eye scoop out of Caitlin Clark's head, heard round the world last year, as well as whatever that ridiculous flaw and gyration was. During one of those games, for those familiar with Carrington's track record, this wasn't a surprise. Her reputation for employing dirty tactics has followed her throughout her career. And once again, it took center stage, sparking outrage across the league. Fans and analysts quickly drew comparisons to one of her most infamous moments: her eye poke against Caitlin Clark during last season's heated rivalry game, a play that left Clark with a visible black eye and sparked league-wide condemnation. That incident became the defining controversy of Carrington's career, cementing her reputation as a player willing to bend, or break, the rules. Indiana Fever fans were particularly vocal, labeling her a dirty player in a firestorm of social media backlash. Remember Carrington's reaction when she was asked point-blank by the media about the incident. Now, with this latest clash involving Kate Martin, those criticisms feel even more justified. Carrington's actions seem to echo her past behavior, reinforcing the very narrative she's been trying to outrun. If she can't get to Caitlin, she'll just settle for Kate, right? If she can't get Caitlin, she'll just settle for Kate. Oh, Dijonai. From the opening tip-off of the Unrivaled game between the Laces Basketball Club and the Mist Basketball Club, the game between Kate Martin and Dijonai Carrington was charged with intensity. Martin, a rising star for the Laces, was relentless. Her precision shooting and sharp court awareness made her a nightmare for Carrington to guard. Martin was everywhere, slicing through defenses, creating opportunities, and maintaining an unshakable focus. As Carrington struggled to contain her, the frustration began to show. What started as a battle of skill quickly devolved into something far more reckless. Via reported that Kate Martin gets annoyed over Dijonai Carrington's physical defense during Unrivaled. WNBA standout Kate Martin didn't seem to appreciate the physical defense Dijonai Carrington played on her during Unrivaled League. And I'm telling y'all right now, we already know how she coming, bruh. She's very handsy with her style of play, and she's not the only one. It's a lot of ladies in this league that play like that. It all came to a head during a critical play. Martin drove past Carrington with ease, her momentum carrying her toward the basket, but instead of relying on defensive strategy or skill, Carrington lashed out with a reckless hit that sent Martin crashing to the floor. The aggression didn't stop there. as a few plays after, Carrington followed it up with an attempt to swat the ball out of Martin's hands. A move that felt less like a genuine play and more like an intentional attempt to rattle her opponent. The result, an obvious foul, followed by a wave of disapproval from fans and analysts alike. That's what the Nets hear as the camera pans over. She reaches in and swipes at the ball, but how hard are you going to do it exactly? You trying to break somebody's arm? Look at that. Look at that. Boom. Yeah. You know, it's the small things that ain't great. What made the moment even more striking was the stark difference between the two players' demeanors. Martin, who has recently earned a bigger role and more minutes on the court, handled the situation with grace. Her poise under pressure spoke volumes, showcasing the qualities that have made her a key player for her team. While Carrington was unraveling, Martin stayed locked in, continuing to execute plays and maintain her focus. This contrast didn't go unnoticed. Martin's ability to rise above the chaos only reinforced her growing reputation as one of the league's most promising talents. Carrington's antics, on the other hand, felt like a desperate attempt to disrupt a player who was simply outplaying her. All game long, Martin had been showcasing her versatility, running smart plays, hitting critical shots, and making decisions that kept her team in control. Carrington's foul didn't just reflect poor judgment, it was a glaring admission that she couldn't keep up. For those watching, it was clear. Carrington's actions were less about defense and more about frustration. Sid is probably not one individual player that has benefited more from Unrivaled than Kate Martin. Look, Kate Martin was somebody that came into WNBA and nobody thought she was going to make the Las Vegas Aces roster. This wasn't new territory for Carrington. Known for her fiery and often reckless playing style, she has developed a reputation for letting her emotions dictate her actions in high-pressure moments. Against Martin, her aggression once again crossed the line, but what made this incident even more personal was Carrington's history with Caitlin Clark. Last season, Carrington made headlines for a brutal encounter with Clark, which included a now infamous eye poke that left the star with a black eye and sparked widespread backlash. Carrington's history of targeting Clark makes her behavior toward Martin feel more than coincidental. It feels calculated. Martin, a close ally and former teammate of Clark's, has stepped into a larger role for the Laces and soon to be the Golden State Valkyries, and her growing influence on the court appears to have drawn Carrington's ire. Whether out of frustration or something more personal, Carrington has shifted her focus to Martin, once again resorting to tactics that have left fans and players questioning her respect for the game. Martin, however, refused to be drawn into the mind games. Instead, she let her performance do the talking. Her basketball IQ and offensive prowess were on full display, making it clear she's a player opponents can no longer ignore. Meanwhile, Carrington's actions only added to the growing narrative of a player who, when faced with tough competition, struggles to adapt. For fans and analysts, this matchup was more than just another game. It was a reflection of two very different approaches to competition. And for Carrington, it was another moment that will surely fuel the ongoing conversation about her playing style. The clash between Dijonai Carrington and Kate Martin reached its boiling point in a game that was as intense as it was revealing. From the opening minutes, Martin proved why she's rapidly becoming a standout player in the league. With increased playing time, she has consistently delivered, showing a skill set and composure that make her indispensable on the court. However, her success appeared to strike a nerve with Carrington, who resorted to familiar but controversial tactics. Desperate to disrupt Martin's rhythm, Carrington's antics escalated, but Martin refused to take the bait, rising above the chaos with a level of poise that captured the admiration of fans and analysts alike. For many, this wasn't just about the game. It was about a pattern. Fans have begun to notice what feels like a deliberate targeting of players close to Caitlin Clark, leading to speculation that Carrington's actions go beyond competitive aggression. It's one thing to play hard, but going after Caitlin Clark's best friend feels petty, remarked one fan on social media. Another added, Carrington's not here to elevate the game. She's here to tear others down. The sentiment was clear. Carrington's tactics were doing little to endear her to fans or advance her reputation. In stark contrast, Martin's performance was a masterclass in focus and discipline. Despite the physicality and attempts to rattle her, Martin let her game speak for itself. Her ability to execute under pressure, combined with her growing leadership on the court, only reinforced why she's one of the league's brightest rising stars. Where Carrington leaned on aggression, Martin leaned on skill and teamwork, delivering a performance that not only inspired her teammates, but also highlighted the stark difference between the two players' approaches to the game. The Laces Basketball Club delivered the ultimate response to Carrington's antics by securing a hard-fought victory over her team, the Mist. The game was a battle from start to finish, but the Laces' discipline and determination shone through. For Martin, the win carried extra significance. After enduring Carrington's attempts to shake her confidence, including a particularly aggressive moment when Carrington tried to swipe the ball from Martin's hands, it was Martin's calm under pressure that helped tip the scales in the Laces' favor. And guess what? Martin outshined and outclassed Carrington as she scored 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals compared to Carrington's 2 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Throughout the game, Martin showcased her versatility and resilience, whether it was her sharp passing, timely shooting, or her ability to lead her team during crucial moments. Each play was a reminder of her growth as a player, and her ability to thrive even in high-stakes situations. Carrington, on the other hand, seemed to falter under her own aggression. Her overly physical style disrupted not only Martin's focus, but also the flow of her own team, leaving the Mist struggling to find their rhythm. The final moments of the game were particularly symbolic. With the Laces in control and the clock winding down, Martin played a pivotal role in sealing the victory. Fans erupted in celebration, noting how Martin had managed to stay composed and rise above the drama to lead her team to success. The scene was a poetic conclusion to a game defined by contrasting styles, Carrington's reckless physicality versus Martin's disciplined precision. For Carrington, the game may serve as a wake-up call. Her relentless efforts to get under Martin's skin ultimately failed, and her team paid the price. The Mist's struggles highlighted the downside of Carrington's approach, one that relied more on aggression than strategy. Meanwhile, Martin's leadership and determination not only led her team to a decisive win, but also solidified her reputation as one of the most promising players in the league. The Laces' victory was more than just a win. It was a statement. It underscored the idea that skill, focus, and teamwork will always triumph over tactics designed to disrupt and distract. For Martin, it was a moment to savor, a reminder that the best response to adversity is to let your game do the talking. As the Laces celebrated their hard-fought victory, Martin could take pride in knowing she had earned the last laugh,